We want to thank everybody for coming out today, especially the persons that actually came and spoke to the Urban Affairs Committee. We want to thank our Urban Affairs Chair, who did a remarkable job of putting this together. Thank everybody, as I said, who actually came out and spoke. Very powerful testimony. I think that's the key. Very, very powerful testimony. One of the things I mentioned just a few minutes ago, and I repeat it here because I think it's worth repeating, and that is that hopefully the people of Georgia was able to see what real legislating is. As I said, no one was rushed. No one was told they only have 1 minute or 2 minutes or hurry up, we're on a time schedule. And that happens because you don't care about what happens to Georgians. But when you do care about what happens to Georgians, you find out what took place today. Today was the model of how we actually should be governing. And that is when you care about Georgians, when you care about families and you care about women, you actually sit and listen. And you ask good questions and you try to drill down and find out what actually is going on and how legislation will impact people's lives. Because that's what we do. We impact people's lives. And HB 481 has impacted the lives of the women of this state, has impacted the lives of families of this state. As one of our speakers said, women in Georgia live in an era of criminality because of HB 481. And that is beyond unfortunate. It is a travesty that women in our state would live in an era of criminality when we talk about their reproductive choices. And so with that backdrop, you would think that our Attorney General would want to be here today and say, no, it's not an era of criminality because this is what the law really says. And this is how we're going to interpret this particular law. But he wasn't here. He chose not to show up, which is typical, as I said before, for people who do not care about what Georgians actually think. And this bill, this law, not only has impact on reproductive choices, but also has impact of other women's health issues. We also learned today that maternal health rates in Georgia are terrible, especially for African American women, where they actually many times lead the nation or come close to leading the nation in death as far as being maternal health. Those things are not acceptable. We cannot continue to do business as usual. And that's what this hearing was about today. It was a fact-finding mission on some level, but it also was a mission to let the people of Georgia know that we care and we hear what you have to say. And the person who actually put this together and insisted that we do this, and she didn't have to insist hard because we're always there for the people of Georgia, but that's our chair, Donzella James, and I'll have her come up and speak.
Thank you. I'm in slow motion, not on purpose, though. 1 second. Thank you very much for coming today. And I'm here to discuss the testimony we've just heard upstairs during our Urban Affairs hearing. We heard about all the ways that this cruel 6-week abortion ban has hurt Georgia women and how too many families have watched loved ones die for no good reason, all because of this vague and cruel abortion ban. I just mentioned that many people came and gave their testimonies. Many people watched us on Zoom, and they have put comments that I will read later and share with all of you. The absence of the one person who could have truly answered a lot of our questions and gave clarity to this was invited, and that's our Attorney General, Chris Carr. He was invited, and he declined, and then we asked for someone to come and speak on his behalf, and he declined that as well. So I asked the Attorney General to just join us for this conversation, following the lead of my colleague, Senator Nabila Islam Park, who has been fighting this issue for more than a year. I wanted our AG to answer questions across, of women across Georgia and what they're asking, because we have one opinion from the person that authored this bill. Then the governor says something else, and then the AG says something else. So I wanted him to come and just clarify for us what this does. And also, we invited women who have been adversely affected by this law, this ban, to come, and they shared with us. I'm still in tears listening to them this morning. So what are our rights? What health care may we receive? Nobody has answered this. They didn't even answer Senator Park when they just refused to answer us, I guess, because we got no answer. I don't know where the Attorney General is today, but I know that he's listening to this testimony. He's not hearing about the havoc this abortion ban causes. He's not listening to the stories of women who have had to suffer under this law. He's not hearing the stories of mothers who lost daughters unnecessarily because of this law. Oh my. Some things are important to others. That's more important than life itself. I imagine being one of these women. Your baby is at risk, unlikely to live, and now you must risk your own life too. Doctors won't treat you because they are afraid that they might go to jail. They don't understand exactly what is going on. And you can't afford to travel to another state or another place to get the care you need. All you can do is pray that God shows you mercy and spares your life. That's what this law does. It causes women to die unnecessary deaths from treatable causes. Wanting to bring a new life into the world should be the greatest thing that happens. And it should not mean you may die because Republican politicians decided it must be so. Pregnancy should not mean that you cannot access the medical care that you need to save your life. So Attorney General Carr isn't here to explain to us, but I am here, and I am a woman who at one time in my life lost a child. Oh my, I stayed in the hospital 3 days. They can't even get any care now. This is unacceptable. So thank you for coming today. If you have any questions, me and our leader, our minority leader, will answer them at this time. Again, thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Okay. With that, we want to thank you for coming. Madam Chair, you have any last words?
I just want to thank all of the women who were brave enough to come today and give us their testimonies, and the experts who came and talked to us, the people in DC who were on the Zoom line with us, who also shared, the National Organization of Women who shared, the other experts as well, and House Member Parks and others. Thank you also to our committee. Yes, go ahead. If it's not changed, it'll be more of the same. We hope that we can come together and really serve the people's needs and not the politics. So we hope that somehow we can change this. But if we don't, I see no changes. It might even get a whole lot worse. And that's what we're trying to stop today.
I would concur with that and say that obviously if women are now living in an era of criminality or fear, imagine the fear they have now, knowing that this was put together, knowing we asked our Attorney General to come here today and actually answer these particular questions. Not in a combative way. This is a fact-finding day, quite frankly. But now that they know that, he did not think enough to come in and actually come and tell us about this particular law, I would think that that fear is only going to increase, quite frankly.
Did any of you want to answer that?
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.